Let's make Apple turnovers from The Little Women and talk about why the book stays popular in the modern days. Little Women is a coming-of-age novel which was written by Louisa May Alcott in 2 volumes, published in 1868 and 1869. The story tells about the lives of 4 sisters that are based on Louisa and her sisters themselves. Realism and deep understanding of heroine's struggles is a key element that allows the reader then and now sympathize with the girls. By the way, these autobiographical elements helped modern critics to rediscover the stories Louisa published in 1860s newspapers, as the stories that Jo writes in the book mirror Alcott's work. The character Jo, based on Louisa, is revolutionary. The theme of feminism is most evidently shown through her. She is not a typical image of the 19th century woman whose only purpose is to marry and keep the house, but a free-spirited heroine with aspiration to write and see the world. It sounds common now, but she was one of the first characters to represent women's fight for rights, which was especially meaningful to the girls who read the novel back then and stays important to the modern generation. Initially, Louisa was determined not to wed Jo to anyone. Hundreds of fan letters asking her to marry Jo to her friend Laurie didn't change her mind, but the publishers who simply refused to print such a frivolous plot had more power. However, Louisa still decided to have the fun she could afford, and instead of marrying Laurie, Jo got engaged to a funny German professor. Not only the characters, but the style of Little Women is revolutionary itself. It has the ideas of transcendentalism, popular in 19th century America, which rejected Puritanism and embraced individualism. Besides, Little Women has elements which cross the pattern of postmodernism. For example, there is no external antagonist. Instead, the conflict revolves around the inner struggles of the heroines. What's more important to the similarity with modern works, the book is full of allusions. The most prominent one is to the book Pilgrim's Progress, written in 1678 by John Bunyan, which follows a sinner named Christian as he conquers his sins on the journey to salvation. The Pilgrim's Progress was widely read in Alcott's time, especially by children studying the morals that they would be expected to embody in adulthood. In The Little Women, each March sister gets a copy of the book on Christmas and sets out to conquer her sins on a journey of moral development. In the novel, the sisters also have a secret society called the Pickwick Club, which alludes to Charles Dickens' first novel, The Pickwick Papers, or the posthumous Papers of the Pickwick Club. Dickens' plot follows 4 men who start a club of the same name, travel around England, and report their adventures to the other members of the club. Like them, at the meetings, March sisters pretend to be the members of the club and share self-written newsletters, stories, and poetry. So despite being a girls' novel with main themes such as ambition, domesticity, and true love, all that has been said makes it truly timeless, which can be proved by the fact that the novel never came out of print since the year of release. There's a reason books are being called classic, and it's not because they're boring. Little Women is a heartwarming, funny, and inspiring story, loved and admired all around the world ever since the 19th century.